Calaroga Shark Media.
Happy 420 to those who celebrate. I do not. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Dulce Sloan commented on the Nike women's Olympic uniforms. Have you seen these? If not, the joke will tell you. Her joke, this outfit should not be for Team USA. Team Brazilian? Absolutely. That's all you need to know. I did watch Jimmy Carr's new special. I liked it. If you like Jimmy Carr did Jimmy Carr things. If you don't like Jimmy Carr, you're not going to like it. But he did Jimmy Carr things. It's not his best special by any means, but it did make my top 20 whatever of 24. I have it right now at number 7 after Dimitri Martin. The Guardian did not like it. They gave it 1 star out of either 4 or 5 and wrote, "It's hard to cancel someone who doesn't believe in anything. A moral vacuum lies at the heart of Carr's act. What does he think? Who's his show for? Hearing how many of his jokes he laughs at, a horribly depressing affectation that was absent from Carr's early stand-up. He's been doing the laugh at his own jokes for a while now, and I didn't feel like he did it a lot in this new one. What did catch my eye is I think somebody nailed his shoes to the floor. It's very late in the special before he even moves his legs. Go back and look at it. He's just glued to the floor. Now, that might have something to do with the advanced camera work they did. There were some spin arounds. I don't know if there was a dolly or a drone or what they did there, but he did not move, and I found that distracting. The Guardian said it would be tempting to say that the target audience for the show is the 51-year-old himself, right? Maybe. His lonely honk is occasionally the only one we hear, like a goose wondering where his friends have gone. I don't know. Think that review is fair. He's just clowning around. Enjoy the special. When I was surfing YouTube, I noticed Triumph showed up at the Trump court case and was doing his Triumph talks to people in the crowd thing. Not Triumph's best work, but definitely funny if you want to check that out on YouTube. A bunch of things got announced Thursday and Friday, which is strange, but okay. HBO announced that Nikki Glaser will get her second hour-long comedy special. Before I get into that, the HBO specials lately haven't been good. Like, what was the last good HBO comedy special? Is there a list of HBO comedy specials? Maybe we can look. Let's see. I'm going to have to work a little bit here. On Wikipedia, let me start in December. We had Gary Goldman. All right, I'll just stop there. Gary Goldman's special in December was great. Were there any good ones in 2024? In February, we had Rory Scovel. I didn't think that was good at all. Rami Youssef in March was, I didn't like the direction on it. I didn't watch it. Okay. That's all we've had so far on Mac. Oh, and in April, we've had Alex Edelman's one. I forgot to watch that one. I'll try and get to it this weekend. Got a busy weekend, another soccer tournament. Anyway, Nikki Glaser will be the HBO comedy special in May, Saturday, May 11th at 10 o'clock. I also don't love that as a time. Netflix on Tuesdays. Now, Tuesdays just tend not to work out for me, but I think the Tuesdays works well. The Saturday at 10 p.m. is a relic of another time. For example, I often watch TV on Saturday night, but by 10 o'clock, I'm old. I'm winding down. Maybe it's a young person's game. Whereas if the same special came out at, 8 o'clock, I'd watch it. In the new special, Nikki Glaser, Someday You'll Die. Nikki tells an audience in Seattle about a wide range of topics, no kidding, including why she doesn't want kids, the harsh realities of aging, her sexual fantasies, and plans for her own death. Let's listen to some of the trailer before it gets naughty.
The other day, I rolled up with like a bunch of suitcases, and the Uber driver just popped the trunk and sat in the front seat. I was like, is this the first sign of menopause? What's happening right now?
Comedy Dynamics has announced plans for Tommy Tiernan's new special, Tomfoolery. That'll be out April 30th. No clip available, but Tommy apparently discusses the duality of human existence, being two opposites at the same time. For example, he was almost a priest, but his mind was too dirty. I got to get to Conan's show. Conan was asked by The Hollywood Reporter if he has any predictions of how late night will evolve. Conan said it's already happening. Gordon's show was replaced with a different format, meaning after midnight. That's going to happen more and more. When I got into late night in 93, I was still dealing with a captive audience. Someone could actively dislike Conan O'Brien, and many did, but if they had insomnia at 12:35 a.m., there were only a couple of choices. I was in people's bedrooms whether they wanted me or not. He jokes, there's a terrible pull quote. That's not the case anymore. Everyone is siloed in their political beliefs and their entertainment. An era is definitely over or ending. The whole idea of it being called late night, that'll probably disappear. It's all digestible stuff for the internet, which is better produced and has better stars than a lot of what's out there. But at Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, or Stephen Colbert, these are talented people. I don't feel for them. They asked him about the Jay Leno thing, and he said, enough time has gone by where I can see that it didn't have much to do with me. I was standing on a fault line. We kept trying to cut this baby in half, Solomon-like, and it wasn't working. At that moment, it became about the internet, which had existed for a while, but was completely undervalued by the suits. At the time, they were saying, what is going on? How is Conan doing this? I wasn't doing anything, but if you were a certain age and online, you were probably on my side. I still have people come up to me and say, that made me really angry what happened to you. I'm great. Someday I'll look at my Wikipedia entry, but 2009 feels like 500 years ago to me. Good point, sort of made, almost made there. Had they hung around a little bit, with Conan being really good at internet clips, that may have helped, but they panicked, and they should have kept Conan on. I also think NBC was right having Jay Leno on at 10 o'clock. You don't think they'd like to have a Jay Leno-type show on at 10 o'clock these days in the current economic climate? Right move, you just didn't stick to your guns. John Cleese was going to get a show on the UK's Channel 4. Apparently, that is not happening. He had announced the project in 2021, pledging to discover how the impeccable idea of let's all be kind to people has been developed, in some cases ad absurdum. This was going to be produced by Jeremy Clarkson's production company. They still haven't filmed it. One source close to the show said Channel 4 could not come to a deal with John Cleese, according to Deadline. Cleese also had a show for GB News last year called The Dinosaur Hour. That no longer exists as well. Happy 420, and Jim Belushi will be one of the 50-plus cannabis industry expert speakers at a convention in Illinois at the end of May. Belushi will be sharing experiences and insights from his journey on becoming a commercial cannabis grower. Gabe Iglesias might be moving to San Antonio. At the end of a recent show down there, he said, there's no question, and there should never be any question about the love I have for the 210. And then he said, I told you earlier tonight, I sold my house. The fans cheered, and he said, all I got to say is, I'll see you at the Buc-ee's.
Gossip Corner.
And on Gossip Corner, apparently Colin Jost and Pete Davidson having some, quote, bitter disappointment. You may recall they bought a ferry together for some reason, hoping to turn it into a nightclub, comedy club, or something. A friend of Colin Jost and Pete Davidson told the National Enquirer, what began as a promising venture has devolved into bitter disappointment, serving as a stark reminder of the perils of mixing business with friendship. I do a lot of stuff with AI. That, to me, the language there sounds very, very AI to me. So maybe the friend just speaks like AI. But the writing pattern of what began as has devolved into is very AI, serving as a stark reminder of the perils of mixing business and friendship is the kind of sentence AI tends to write. Anyway, while Colin is scrambling to assemble a competent team, Pete seems to have gone AWOL. It remains to be seen whether their friendship can weather the storm. Wow. We do need to do an intervention for Jim Gaffigan. Jim, I'm trying to help you here, but Jim went on his YouTube channel. Here's another terrible clip. Again, I want people to listen to my podcast. If you could suffer through Jim here, please do. If not, hit 30-second skip a couple times because, Jim, this ain't working, bro.
I have just been shipped the very first bottles of Father Time Bourbon. Let's see what we got here. Now, just occasionally people will leave messages about, hey, when is it going to be available in stores? It's not going to be available in stores. This is a limited run. I call it a precious batch. Just because everything has to do with kids. Here, I gotta open this. I'm a little nervous, you know what I mean? I've invested a lot of time. Oh, that's cool. I think that's very cool. So, here's what it looks like. I really wanted to do something that would be good and be something that would be cool on someone's bar.
Well, you heard it from Jim Gaffigan himself. He's hoping that his product will be something cool to be on someone's bar. Good luck with your project, Jim. Jeff Cerulli and Comedy Dynamics will release Jeff's debut comedy special live at the Bomb Shelter. That'll be out on Tuesday, June 11th. They sent over a clip. Let's listen.
Here's something kids would say at this school to make themselves feel better about going to community college. And I heard this from multiple kids. This wasn't just like one or two students. This was multiple kids would say this. They would be like, hey, man, do you know this is actually regarded as one of the best community colleges in the country. It's like, according to who? Who's saying that? Who's ranking community colleges? What? If they let everyone in, it's not the best of anything. No one's watching an NBA game being like, yeah, this is incredible. But you know what would be better? If they let the fans play. Why don't they let the fans play? Why? Also, this game should take place at Nassau Community College, the greatest community college in the country. I was like, yeah, this is really the Ivy Leagues for kids who didn't try in high school. I would say that.
Hannah Berner tapes her new special at the El Rey in L.A. today. And let's see what's happening at the comedy festivals, which reminds me, these episodes have been like 20 minutes-ish for the last month or so. With Melbourne ending, it's going to go back to a normal length. So don't get mad at me if you've gotten addicted to really long episodes. Because without having, especially this week, 3 festivals to talk about, it will get shorter. That said, Sydney Comedy Festival starts, I think, on the 25th. So we'll be back to doing that. But for now, let's take a look at the festivals. Let's do Moontower first. It is effectively the final day of Moontower. There's just a podcast taping tomorrow. A robust Saturday night at Moontower. Wow. I won't read them all, but let's do the named ones. 6 o'clock, Stars in Bars at Antone's Nightclub. Features Carmen Christopher, the Sklar Brothers, Drew Lynch, and some others. Also at 6, Parenting is a Joke at the Parker Jazz Club. Ophira Eisenberg, Rosebud Baker, Andy Haynes, and Jeremiah Watkins. Ronnie Chang plays the Bass Concert Hall at 6:30. The Glow Show at 6:30 has a bunch of comedians, including Natalie Palamides. 7 o'clock, Sarah Sherman and Chloe Feynman at the Paramount. Shane Torres at 7. Again, I'm not reading them all. Todd Barry at 8 o'clock. Ari Shafir at 9:30. Connor O'Malley gets the yellow box. So what's the yellow box, Johnny Mac? There's some shows they have flagged as headliners, and Connor O'Malley is one of the headliners. Is my comedy radar off here? Is Connor O'Malley secretly huge? What am I missing here? 10 o'clock, the Comedy Jam. Rosebud Baker at 10:30. Closing night party at 11, and a sketch show at 11:30. All right, if we were at Moontower, what should we go see on this Saturday night? We've seen Sarah before, so let's do Ronnie Chang at 6:30. That'll get us to around 8 o'clock or so. Let's pop into The Creek and the Cave at 8:30. We'll catch whoever we can catch out of Jeremiah Watkins, Cam Patterson, Cyphus Sounds, Rosebud Baker, the Sklar Brothers, and Lisa Trigger. But we'll leave that early, and we'll go see Ari Shafir at 9:30. Unless you want to go see Connor O'Malley, who might be secretly huge, and maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. And then if you want to do a late show, we'll do the sketch show at 11:30. But have you ever hung out with me? By 11:30, I want to go to bed. All right, I can get my browser back here. I'm closing that tab forever. Meanwhile, in Dubai, I am not familiar with anyone performing tonight, but they are Alfred Adrian, Anubhav Singh Basi, Riyad Musa, and the Emirati Stand-Up English Edition. Let's see what that show is. Don't miss the opportunity to see your favorite digital Emirati personalities in the flesh, but in English. So I guess if we were there, we'd go see that one. And one last time, because of how time zones work, we'll take a look at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival Sunday lineup, the final day of the wonderful Melbourne International Comedy Festival. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing the festival with you and playing the clips. My big takeaway from doing this every day for a month is the scene down there has a lot of strong women comics, which is awesome. We got to get some of those performers up here in the States. All right, let's see how many clips I can find for you today. Henry Zoo's show is called Zoo Fast, Zoo Furious. Love it. The description, Henry is back to Hobbs and Shawley leave audiences in stitches as he Tokyo drifts between ludicrous stories and Vin Diesel punchlines. This seems like it's going to be completely in my wheelhouse. Let's listen. Oh, wheelhouse was not a pun either. Oops.
I have a sister as well. She's 9 years younger than me. And when my mom was pregnant, she was like, "Look at that, Henry, I made you a friend." And I thought she was being nice at the time. But what she really meant was, I said to her on play dates and extracurricular activities for 8 years, couldn't make a single friend. I'm going to make one for you that can't leave.
All right, that wasn't bad. Not sure it was about Vin Diesel movies, but I enjoyed him. Matt Harvey, no, not the guy from the New York Mets. This is an Australian comedian. His show is called Wage Against the Machine. Let's listen.
The sale of hardcore porn in Australia is illegal. Still to this day. And the way that we got around it, we didn't sell it for it. We rented porn. Now you would pay a price surprisingly similar to that which you would pay if you were buying. And the rental period was the rest of your life. But we were renting it.
So, Matt, material's fine. The clip that you're sharing, I've never seen a clip like this. This looks like somebody has a phone at the back of the club. I'm looking through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies to see Matt, who is about twice the size of the arrow icon on my Mac. The audio's terrible. I have no idea what Matt Harvey, not the Mets pitcher, looks like. Dude, just, I won't even say hire social media team, but if you're performing the festival, I don't know, go to the Chuckle Hut Australia on Tuesday night and have your friend sit in the front row and shoot it with a cell phone. I mean, come on, put some work into this, Matt Harvey. What a weird clip. Let me see if I can find one more. I think we've done just about everybody. David Woodhead's show is called Black and White, Black spelled B-L-A-K for reasons unclear to me. The Adelaide Advertiser says, watch this space. I suspect we're watching a future comedy stalwart. All right, let's listen.
Over the past year, I've lost 60 kilos, which is nice. It's oh, thank you. Now your first reaction is, oh my God, that's amazing, so much weight. But in the back of your head, you're thinking, how fat were you? Here's the thing, all right? I still identify as a fat dude. The difference is now I'm a fun fat dude. I'm a fun fatty. Whereas a year ago, I was a sad fat dude. Just sad fatty. The main difference between a fun fatty and a sad fatty is as a fun fatty, if I go to the bar tonight, just have 10 shots of tequila, rip my shirt off like Hulk Hogan, you guys would be like, oh, the party started. Big Fat James just ripped his shirt off. Like, you would love it. You would love it. If I did that a year ago, though, you guys would be like, party's over. Big Fat Dave just ripped his shirt off and he's sweating in my beard. This is disgusting. Someone get this dog a shirt. And I would.
All right, he's fun. I like his presence a lot. And with that, I close out the tab for the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Again, we'll do Sydney in a few days, and that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow.